Hi everyone, here at Work with Hella, and today we're doing an installation in a new office. And what I've done is gone around the greenhouse to select the plants that we need. I've gone by this floor plant, and maybe you want to come in and see it. So there's a floor plan here that I've done a walk around the office area and then determined which plant is best for the proper locations and in what container would be the best way of potting them up, the best way that they're going to thrive for years to come. And so what I've done is gone around collecting up the plants that we need. This is a small fraction of them, but like we have the Chinese evergreen, snake plant, here's another aglaonema, snow. So we have a variety of plants that I'm going to be potting up today, and then we're going to install over at the clients. So let's get to the potting. Now I'm going to be potting up one of the floor plants. This is going into the Lechuza Quadro 43 container. And so let me just take off all the packaging. It's got all the things inside here that we need. It's got sub-irrigation system. This is pond. So we need to put all of this stuff together before we pot up. Put the rocks in. Oh, maybe I should show that this has a outside decorative container, and you can see here it's got feet that hold the planting liner up above where the water will sit, so then the roots don't actually go sitting into the water, and that allows for a reservoir of water, and then the plant will take up the water as it needs it. So that kind of takes all the guesswork out of watering, and the plants love this system. They love to be watered from underneath. So now I've got putting the rest of it together. There we go. Wasn't quite in there, snapping it in. Putting the water indicator. So then putting it together. All right, so now we got the water indicator together, and that goes on top, and we're going to start to put the soil in. So I'm using some indoor potting mix. It's mostly peat moss, some vermiculite in there, or perlite, and we're going to put a good base in there. I'm going to be putting a 10-inch root ball in, so I want the soil up, I guess, enough. Well, here, let me show you with this tree. So this is a Ficus lyrata tree in a 10-inch pot, but clearly it's root bound, which is good for us because we're potting up. So I want to hit the outer pot off, grow pot, and you can see here how beautiful these roots are. The green prills, see all the green on top too? That's all fertilizer that the growers have put in to try and grow it quicker. But I want to loosen up the root ball. Yeah, it's nice and tight. And if you don't loosen up the root ball, then the roots have a harder time going into the new soil. So we want to help it acclimatize quicker by doing this. I want to try and get some of this fertilizer off. Just because the fertilizer in the office environment could become toxic in the soil, could become toxic to the roots. So we want to get rid of some of that. Wow, it's really wrapped around there, which is okay. I'll probably put that into the soil. So now we have our nicely loosened up root ball. I'm going to put it in. Now I want to make sure that the height of the root ball soil is just a bit below the lip, and I actually think this is a bit high. just because these roots, I don't want them to be too exposed. So I'm gonna bring the soil level down a bit, put that in. Okay, so now I'm gonna start potting it up. The other thing is that I custom picked this tree, mainly because it is nice, got a nice root ball, nice sturdy stem, and nice, relatively big head on it. So now I'm going to put the soil in. Now while I'm doing this, I want to make sure it stays straight, centered in the pot. And then make sure it's nicely filled around. Pack that in around the root ball. Oops, don't want soil in the water reservoir. That would just make mud down there. Is that still centered? Oh, that doesn't look centered at all. Sometimes the root ball itself is oblong, so if you give it a spin, it gets more centered. But I still think it's not. Just gonna shove it over a little. Yeah, that's a bit better. This is certainly the stage that you want to make sure it's centered in the pot, because once it grows in and the roots go fill out the pot, then you're never going to get it centered again. Unless you put it in a much larger container, then you can shift it over that little bit. Okay, almost there. Okay, so now that we have the soil level up, I think that's a perfect level. It's easy for us to water it, and it's covering all those gnarly roots that were all exposed underneath there. So one down, many more to go. So after we've potted up this Ficus lyrata tree, you can see that the leaves are pretty dusty, and that's just from coming from Florida. So that's part of what we do as well, is before we install them, we'll give them a wipe, a cleanup, remove any yellows, you know, make them look beautiful. Now I'm going to be potting up one of the windowsill planters, and so again, it's a lechuza planter. This is called a Balconera 80, and again, it's got the water reservoirs to really help the plants grow. And I'm just putting in the pond, these little rocks that help wick the water up from the reservoir into the soil. So there's two sides to this one, requiring 2 bags of pine. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be potting up these Sansevieria zeylanica, and otherwise known as snake plant. Now again, these ones are beautiful, full, but you can see here that this one is so root bound and growing a new baby that it's actually broken the pot. So this one might be a bit difficult to get out. I might actually just finish breaking the pot off. Yeah, that works. So look at that. Now once we repot this plant, this baby is going to pop up, and all these little babies, they're just going to thrive in the new environment. So again, I want to make sure that the soil is the proper level. That might be difficult with these, because it's not like I can, you know, scrape that off. I'll try and loosen it up a little bit, but not much I can do, which is good. I mean, we want good roots for sure. We'll see what this one looks like. Again, little baby coming up, beautiful healthy root system here. So these pots take 4 6-inch plants, and see. I'll just finish putting these ones in. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. I get so excited about good roots. Who doesn't, am I right? Look at, well, this one probably got broken in shipping some. Oh no, it was the plant again. You see the plant sticking out of this one. Wow, crazy. Crazy that the roots are actually breaking the container. I've seen a lot of warped pots from the roots expanding so much that the decorative container actually warps out of shape. And in order to repot those, we actually need to cut the pot open to get it out. But that's how you know it's doing well. Well, that's one of the ways anyway. So now I'm going to be filling in around these root balls with soil. And once we're done that, I'll move on to the next ones. And then we will install them in the new office. Okay, so now we're at the office, and these are the Balconera 80s. You can see there's still some dirt on them from the greenhouse. That's okay, we'll clean those up. I will do that right now. And this is the windowsill that they're going to be living on. Let me put this one on. So once we get these all cleaned up and watered in, then we will we'll water them in, clean them up, and then that's it. But these plants are going to love this spot. Now let's go and see what other plants we put in. We're putting in the Stracina. It's a Lisa cane. So this is in the kind of lunchroom area, and it is in a low light spot. So I kind of just wanted it by the doorway here. But over here, we're also going to be direct planting in to some existing watertight planters. These are built into the furniture, so love that. I love that designers are incorporating plants right into the furniture plan. And what we're going to do is plant up these Chinese evergreens. These are Aglaonema Maria, and won't those be fantastic? They're not too big that, you know, they'll tickle you when you're sitting here, but just perfect size, nice and cute, perfect for this environment. We're in the boardroom, and this is where I'm putting the lovely Ficus lyrata tree. You can see there's a blind here, so I'm going to be opening this up so that the plant gets some light. And this is a lovely west window that the plant is just going to love and thrive. So we brought it in. I'm just going to finish doing a quick polish. The leaves are pretty clean now. We did a good wipe down. Everyone looks happy, all the dust is off. Now I'm going to put some water. What I'm going to do is, it does have the water reservoir, but because these are brand new plants, I want to make sure that the soil is well moistened. And so I want to put on quite a bit of water because the soil we use is so dry that it needs a lot, otherwise it will actually pull water away from the root ball because of osmosis, I guess. And then once the roots are established into the new soil, then we'll start to use the water reservoir, and then that'll help the plant thrive. Now this plant is going to take it's going to be amazing in this west window. It's enough light for it, and it's just going to grow and thrive and fill this whole corner. And that's it. This is the Lyrata's new home. So I finished potting up these beautiful Aglaonema Marias, and doesn't this just soften up and make this such a wonderful sitting area? Anyway, let's go take a look at some other areas in the office. So over in this area, there's this whole little nook, and it's like a living room setup. What a wonderful place just to sit and chill and regain your focus. So anyway, we put two Aglaonema snow on either side, and what What a fantastic space. I love this so much. Finally, we potted into these existing planters. So we direct planted into the plastic liners. So you can see the Sansevieria kind of segregates the areas. And then over here we have the Chinese evergreen again, kind of separating the cubicle desk areas and towards the window. So that's pretty much this installation, and have a green day.